one thing here, and it will be kind of a question. I prepared. Let me share. Okay, I prepared a very short deck here. Um, this is kind of a summary of everything that we have discussed. We already met last week with the team, um, review some of the KPIs. It's a high level, um, probably very accurate. It doesn't mean the data is accurate because we know there are always things changing. So we can either go through this, it will take 10 minutes and then see if anybody has updates on this. We're just gonna use it as a reference, and for anybody that wants to know what is client acceptance mastering, and we can use this as a source for also creating any other PDFs that we need. And probably after this step, we can discuss if there is any update or something that needs to be updated here, or unless you tell me, oh no, we have some other big updates that we want to do first before discussing anything that we have discussed in the past. Any thoughts? Want to go to these client as an icebreaker and take it from there? Okay, good. So let me open it here and click present. Okay, is everybody able to see? Okay, and as I said, this should be accurate. There might be things that we need to tweak a little bit, but a high level overview and understanding, common understanding for everybody will definitely help. So, what I put in there is kind of an executive summary of what is the client acceptance mastery, what is changing from what we have. Current data model, that is the only and most technical thing that you will find in this deck. It's just one small details there. Talk a little bit about the cascading logic, end-to-end flow on the ADS perspective. What we discussed internally on the approach we're thinking that's going to be the migration and the testing, and scope boundaries on the client acceptance mastering and some open items. I think I listed one or two there, but there might be more for sure. But at least as a starting point on open items, it will work. So if we have to explain somebody what is the client acceptance master, right? So it's the AES own and simplified process for storing client acceptance status and history, applying cascading rules across hierarchies, and pushing access directly to social media while avoiding duplication of any non-master data. ADS will be mastering the client acceptance. We want to store the current status and full history, applying cascading across hierarchies, and publish updates directly to source MDM. We want to bypass use MDM, and of course, as I said, do not duplicate non-master data. Okay. Anything you see that is completely what we're doing or something? I know we need to rephrase some of the things, but as of now, are we on this same page? Kind of what it's gonna be. What is changing? So today we know USMD masters client acceptance and it runs a periodic cascade. What we want to achieve the target state. So we want to store and master acceptance in its own database.
What do I sell?
That is
Well,
technical again.
what do you want to buy?
MongoDB, we don't know. So that
Maybe you can remove that, but now
yes, sure. The more probably
Come back soon.
Have different discussion. We want to perform cascading logic and send updates directly to source MDM by passing use MDM, right? As simple as that. This is what we're gonna change. So it's not gonna be MongoDB most probably, but we wanna kind of do, or at least as a high level, give you that we're gonna be storing in two main tables. There might be more as well, but the more principal ones for what we want to achieve is the party client acceptance that fields discussed include party ID, uh, um, client acceptance status, acceptance month, year, territory, recent category, client acceptance risk cascading flag, modified date, modified by, and we don't want to duplicate any data. That's going to be one of the main goals. This model guide is right, we will not duplicate data that we don't master. And also the other big table is the client acceptance history, that this will play the role of auditing trail of all changes. So every status change is recorded with timing details, so previous states can be reconstructed. Cascading logic, just a very type example, right? It's a parent's acceptance changes. If a parent acceptance changes, for example, to decline, change cascades to children. For example, there are Whole Foods cascades from Amazon. The current table holds only the latest status. The history tables records all previous states, and a break cascading flag with no exceptions to the automatic cascade. These are things that we were discussing, right? This is I'm not stating here this in stone or these are going to be the requirements, but these are reflection of things that we said in some of the meetings. Maybe saying, okay, we will not do break cascading for now, or then when we go in this perspective, when an ADS is communicated, finalized for an entity, we will save the update in the entity's acceptance in ADS database and publish the update to source NPM. Implementation detail under consideration. So again, this might be changed. Trigger based and application driven, perform DB safe and source MDM call together. These are some things that we discuss internally. And we are kind of the last two slides. We were thinking of doing a one-time migration to USMDM, in which we're going to migrate the current client acceptance status into the current state table. This is the one that we set for the current state, and then a historical acceptance into the history table. We also discussed with the team on the testing approach. We want to even test the tables creation, like validate collections and fields, compare derive queries from USMDM to ADS, to consider any data gaps, and then also later functional tests will focus more on the end-to-end workflow when we do that. And this is the last one, the last slide. So this client acceptance master scope emphasizes only in the acceptance mastery, which is current, history, and cascade, and of course publishing to source MDM. We do not maintain unrelated histories, for example, TDMS verification in ADS, and we need to clarify whether acceptance needs to distinguish audit versus non-audit. The USMDM does not differentiate, and I put that as we had it as a business decision pending. And the last
Something we discussed with Mr. Steve, I think was the
okay, good. And the last thing, confirm with USMDM whether cascaded statuses were stored in a separate table, not overriding the main table, and whether ADS should mimic or simplify this. Another thing that we might come with acquisition to verify. So this was kind of as I said, it might not be 100% accurate. Things that we discussed, some things internally, something with you, Eileen, Danielle, but this is I think that it's a nice refresher to resume the conversations on the client acceptance master. Right?
Yeah. Something that we've talked about before, but we've never really focused on, that I think we have to include in scope here, is the internal restriction and PwC legal regulatory restriction fields, which are not technically say client acceptance. I think with MDM going away, we need to master that as well. So.
Is it currently mastered in USMDM?
Yes, except it's not currently used. So the fields are there. If we were to use them, we would master it there and submit it to source. There's no other way that could get. If the other way it could get updated would be manually. First, some of us have access to make edits to source for client acceptance data, which includes client acceptance status and date and things, but also internal restriction and PwC legal regulatory restriction. So I guess we should discuss, Eileen and team to, like, we were talking about, like, even bankruptcy, if we want to use those fields. Do we think we only...
Sanctions as well, Daniel.
Yeah, sanction stuff, so the legal regulatory, would we only make those updates directly in source via some other process, or would we expect in our world of a profile to say, that's how we would make an update kind of locally and then share it to source?
I would just jump in and advocate for locally and contribute it, because then we can also maintain an audit trail
Yeah.
of these contributions and deselections, right, when we have to remove something as well.
Right.
Somehow, just from a compliance standpoint.
Application once you make it sign.
No, but ultimately the contracting system, MSA, should feed this. So we should show an internal restriction, and the word restriction is a misnomer, if you will, in some cases restriction, but like some internal piece of information is that an MSA exists for a client. That is one of the available global drop-downs, is that concept of an MSA, and we talked about using it, but we haven't yet. That would be fed conceptually, ideally, from the MSA Certus database, or wherever MSAs are housed, would feed that field, and then we could contribute that to source. So the problem is we don't use these two, they're two fields, with corresponding controlled vocabulary options. We don't use them today, so we don't have any like precedent to like fall back on and how we master and what we do. So the gut, my gut is we have these fields available to us, and we master and contribute them.
Yep.
Daniel, just update Manjiti from the resource project pinged me today that they are discussing about contributing and updating Salesforce, and that
This is what you want, isn't it? Did I make you nervous? Just wait and see. Give in to your desires, and you'll finally be free!
Well, and yeah, for sure, maybe they're changing their position,
Yeah.
but there's no writing outside of the box.
Give yourself to me. Don't reject it. I'm simply hastening your future.
Like other processes or applications using that field. Today, nobody uses those fields. They're basically unused. We had a slight use case when Russia came along and started tagging some of the legal regulatory, and I think some still say sanctions, because if you remove it, it says no.
Allow me to awaken your desires.
It's very minutely used in some data, but it's not actually used. So it's kind of the whiteboard is open onto how we can. So we're talking about right now wanting to use those fields more proactively in certain situations. We just have no baseline to go on like here's exactly how we should do it, like we do with client acceptance, right? So
Yeah. So even if you go along with what Kenny is suggesting that we update source MDM and source MDM updates Salesforce, if those are like
that's how it
two
always
easy
works.
points.
Source MDM is the only one that updates Salesforce. So
Got
we'd
it.
have to update source and say like, oh, we're gonna put in the tag like MSA exists, and then that gets fed shared to Salesforce, and then they're on account and they can see, oh, an MSA exists for this account, among other things. So that's been a long time vision. It's just we haven't gotten there. I don't know that the MSA will be the first thing. I think we'll end up doing some stuff relative to bankruptcy, but even then that'll probably get updated globally and then fed. But regardless, we I think need the ability to control it locally and then feed it as well. So, and because MDM is going away, like there's nowhere else to put in, like, and a reason you might use an internal restriction is like they haven't paid their bills in the last year, so we're gonna decline them. The internal restriction likely could match up with our reason code. Our reasoning too. We haven't really flushed out that. I think we need to get back to that whole like we've changed something to accepted higher risk. What's our reason? It could map then to an internal restriction because a reason is not going to get to go up to source CES. So I think we need to add that in the scope. It's those two fields and their corresponding, like there's in legal regulatory restriction, this like option is limitation, no known limitation, and then there's type. There's a drop down, I think, sanctions, blah, blah, blah. So there's some confines with which we can leverage, work with it that we'd have to plan for. Like that's global controlled vocabulary, right? If we make up our own, that's fine, except we have to map it to the global unless we get global to add our stuff into the global list. That kind of stuff.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Danielle. I'll let the iService folks know that they can't go ahead planning updating Salesforce and maybe plan for a discussion with you because I think we all have to be aligned on that.
Yeah.
And if we're gonna update these would be from our entity profile view.
Yeah, I would imagine that's how, like our admin view, we would have that.
This is my victory.
I enjoy your endless ambition. Do you have a past that has brought misery upon you? Let me paint you.
All the data that is there.
Dancing blade.
And talking to the
I enjoy your endless ambition.
how do we bring the data to get the data from their database?
I enjoy your endless ambition.
And when it came to the historical data, they had concerns because they feel it may not be the right thing to do because their historical data are 10
show you the other side of this world.
Blade ascent! Do you have nothing left to say?
I enjoy your endless ambition.
A new toy.
I enjoy your endless ambition. I enjoy your endless ambition.
Just wait and see. Give yourself to me. Spicy. Did I make you nervous? Yeah. Flash. Spicy. This is what you wanted, isn't it? That hurts. Beginning. Spicy. Just wait and see. There's ecstasy in Violet's taboo. Here, have a taste. I shall offer you a presage. Your freedom is only but an illusion.
This is my justice.
It's already too late to escape.
Dancing blade.
I enjoy your endless ambition.
It's my turn.
I enjoy your endless ambition.
This is my victory.
I enjoy your endless ambition.
Since you came all this way, I'll show you the other side of this world.
Do you have nothing left to say?
Feel free to scream.
Dancing blade.
I enjoy your endless ambition.
that back if you value your life. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Give yourself to me. Just wait and see.
I gave you a chance. It's too late to say sorry now.
Yeah! Did I make you nervous? Allow me to awaken your desires. Just wait and see. Don't reject it. I'm simply hastening your future.
Here's everything announced in Star Rail's 3.6 live stream in 60 seconds. For Phase 1, the rate of characters are Evernight and the Herta. For Phase 2, the rate of characters are Anaxa and Danheng PT. We're also getting a free Danheng during this phase. New story. This patch's story is about reuniting with Danheng and stopping Evernight's plans for the Era Nova and Amphorius. Game modes. Anomaly Arbitration. A new endgame mode focused on bosses, which mainly rewards mats like the new Artifact Reroller and cosmetics like a new Pom-Pom skin. Alongside these are 2 new relic sets and a teaser for another new game mode coming in version 3.7. Events. Colorful Mayhem, an event focused on the Candy Crush and Seal minigames. Try Not to Laugh Challenge, a Masked Fool themed battle event. Nice Weather for Dromases, an event about raising a baby drama. And finally, free rolls will also be given. And here are other announcements that would take too long to read. And here are the redemption codes for the live stream.
nothing left to say.
Do you have a past that has wrought misery upon you? Let me paint you there.
It's funny, really. The vanity of your struggle.
A new toy.
Dancing blade.
I shall offer you a presage. Your freedom is only but an illusion.
This is my victory. Do you have nothing left to say?
It's already too late to escape.
Should I show you my secret weapon? It's not my fault if you get hurt. If you value your life, don't say I didn't warn you.
This is my justice!
Since you came all this way, I'll show you the other side of this world.
You outlived your usefulness. Now rest in peace.